Hello, my babies. Welcome back to a part 6 of Throwback Tournament Review. This is the final table of the Sunday warm-up now. If you managed to miss how we got to the final table, head down to the description below, and you can get links to the first 5 episodes. So, without further ado, let's hop right into it. So blinds up to 80k. This is a huge jump. 60k to 80k is always a huge jump. Queen 4 again. Chopping it up. So yeah, I guess at this time of the tournament, I've got Calamo right. I'm kind of scared. Jesus, dude. Folding an ace in the big blind to a min raise, like, insanity. In-fucking-sanity. And I'm just like, you know, like, what am I going to do? Like, I don't want to... I'm not going to spaz out versus him and try to, you know, bluff him or anything. Somehow he doesn't get there with King, Queen suited versus Ace-9. The second most important pot. I mean, this would be like a reasonable 3-bet, but, like, I don't really think that we should do it versus Cal. Like, especially the sizing. Like, this is just awful. If I want to 3-bet him here, I got to make it, like, 420. You know? We got to put, like, an extra 100,000 out there. Because for this size, he's not folding unless he has, like, Queen 5 offsuit. And even then, he's like, yo, I'm Cal. Like, I'm not folding. So I would imagine him to call with most of his hands, but I guess he's just like going so wide, and I guess he is paying obviously very close attention to how I'm playing, and I've been playing super duper tight for the last like 4 or 5 orbits or so. So I do like the spot. I would just like to go bigger. Man, this guy just literally waits for it, and then he gets punished as well. Feels bad for the kid. So this, even in 2012, this is a spot where I should have been like, I should be raising more than, I should be raising more than 2x into Cal's big blind because he ain't folding. But he does fold because of small blind, probably. He probably would have called with, like, almost any 2 cards in a heads-up pot. Alright, so this doesn't feel very good. I guess I'm just going to give up at this point. Man, I was not a big fan of giving up back in the day. I'd love to fire off that second barrel. Small, don't really rep much, but hey, let's do it. And I take it down. I don't mind the bluff. I don't mind it. Especially deep in the warm-up here where people are just going to assume that you have like a good hand when you do that kind of thing, you know? When you 2-barrel. I was going to say, if I'm folding ace-3 to a min raise, I'm sure shit folding ace-6 to a 2.45x raise. You get ace-king here. We're going to be getting it in. Yeah, I like the shove. I mean, he makes it really big under the gun, like 2.7 times the blind. And yeah, I like the shove. We just get it through. It's fine. Ace-king again. Gonna raise. Get a call. Okay. Top pair. Life is easy when you make top pair in most hands. Really like to see a call here, but I would not be surprised to like a click back. At the time, I think it feels like I was just like, yeah, we just gotta like try to like make it look as bluffy as possible all the time, you know? Like, didn't really play slow, didn't really try to like play trappy or anything like that. But yeah, I would imagine we'd probably just make like 450 or something. But I think we should definitely call. Yeah, there's the 427. Honestly, guys, like I said, I keep saying, I don't remember these hands. Just picking up on, like, how I was playing at the time and, like, what makes sense. Like, we're just going to get it through so often here. Like, how does he ever spaz in with a worse hand? The only hand that we get an inverse here is, like, a flush draw. And, like, he's going to be bluffing so much, so we should just call. I guess we just shove now and he folds? Like, I don't know. Okay, we finally just call. Okay, I mean, check on the turn. Seems very standard, very good. If he has a flush, we want to, like, get out of it for as cheap as possible. If he has a bluff, we want him to bluff the river. Good river. Probably just has a bluff. What the fuck is going on? "2012 Tonka knew something that 2016 doesn't. Because I don't know what the fuck just happened in that hand. Like... Okay, let's call, because we think he has a bluff. We think he's going to bet the turn with a bluff a lot. He showed that he bet the 3s as a bluff last time. Let's just call the flop. But no, I have to click it, and then this guy re-clicks it. And now I start to question whether or not I even have the best hand, which is like what I wanted him to do by clicking it back on the flop. I wanted him to re-click it. Thank goodness a king didn't come. Check on the turn definitely makes sense. I don't want to get it in now. And then he bluffs the river 240. Man, oh man, oh man. What were people doing? We'd like to see a raise here with the 8-10, even though we are raising in a Nigdog's big blind, who's a very good aggressive player. Would like to see a raise with the ace-2 because of our chip stack size, even though we have to raise full to everybody. I still think it's good. We'd like to see a raise with a 9-8 suited, even though we're raising in a Cal's big blind. We're just like to see a little bit more aggressive play. Man, I thought I was aggressive as shit at this time as well. Little did I know I was just a filthy little nit. Please don't fold with ace 3. Hey! Hey! Go on, my son. Definitely a good shove, easy shove. Cal's opening probably like 80% of hands. We can probably shove any two profitably here. I definitely wasn't shoving any two profitably, but we should probably be reshoving like 70% of hands. Because Cal just raising so wide on the button. Like, honestly, like 70, 80, 90% of hands. 3-bet is way too small. We should make it bigger, of course. This guy goes all in. We call. He has ace queen. We hold. Wham bam, thank you, ma'am. All my 3-bet sizings were just super small back in the day, but that's fine. That's how the game played. I wasn't as good as I am now as well. You know, just like a lot worse at the game. Would like to see a call here, of course. Ooh, Cal doubled up. How do you do that? Nig dog, kings versus queens. Well, must be nice to be Cal and find kings, you know? So yeah, we'd like to see a call here in the big blind with the jack 7, but we don't. This guy's crazy. Clearly a recreational player with his preflop sizes. I can see what Cal does, to be honest. So yeah, raise the deuces, raise fold. Not calling this for 9 blinds, no chance. So we're like on the final table bubble now. I think we're like 14 or 15 people left at this point. And Cal is just doing his thing, raising every hand. Here comes a 3-bet. We're 46 big blinds deep. Parker, how can you ever expect this to work? Make it 600,000. Charge the man some money. How does it work? Cal, what are you doing? I mean, I guess we know what he's doing, right? He just is opening like queen 2 offsuit, so we can't really peel queen 2 offsuit. So maybe our size does make sense. I still think we want to go like 550, 600,000 though. I think it works so much more. All right, we just open shove here. Great shove. We're playing about 14, 15 big blinds deep with these dudes. Definitely want to rip it in. Raising the 6-7, I like it. I like it. This is what I want to see a little bit more of when we're so deep in the warm-up right now with the big stack. This is definitely what I want to see more of. 5-7, I don't want to see that. All right, easy fold now. Cal's calling. He's got ace-jack, man. He got some good hands as well. Chop it up, though. Wouldn't hate to see a flat here and just try to get really tricky with him. 3-bet isn't the worst either. We really do cage him by doing this, but I think flatting probably is a bit better. But yeah, he was playing like reasonably aggressive, so I think that the 3-bet is fine. For sure, and we get it through. I like it. Obviously our sizing, but you know, 2012 sizing, just gonna stop talking about it at some point. Raising with the 7-10, I like it. King of Filth was pretty tight, I think. So that's why I was trying to pick on his big blind a lot. Should see a flop with the 8-7 here. Come on, dude. You're getting a good price. You've got a hand that flops well. See a flop. Ace Queen. Easy raise call. Just gets it through. Queen Deuce. Wow. So King of Filth must have been really tight. That was our read like a second ago when I started opening up 10-7 offsuit. If I'm raising Queen Deuce offsuit here, it's gotta be good to just, like, he just must be super duper tight. And we get it through, so it works. It's nice, but yeah, he must be a very, very tight player. This is it. This is the hand. Cal pumps it. Cal pumps it to 260. I make it 599. Obviously ridiculously small. Not even a 2. Oh, wait, it is. 520 is 2x. Okay. So it's still too small, but, you know, first Cal, he goes all in. I'm like, well, here we go, guys. This is it. We got to call. Like, insane that he 4-bet jams this kind of hand as well, you know? It just makes so much more sense just to call with this kind of hand and go post-flop and outplay me post-flop in position. But he just rips it in, and we make one of the most important holds of our poker career. Woo! I'm getting excited about it just looking back on it now. So we have 11 million chips. 11 million. And there's only, these guys have 21 big blinds, you know? And we have like 90. We're just like loving life so much right now. This is literally like the best day ever. Until, you know, if I punt it off and get 10th. So I think we're on like the direct final table bubble now. There's only 5 people on our table, so that means there's only 5 or 6 on the other one. So we're either 10 or 11 left. This guy 3x's. We're just going to shove. He has ace-9. Can we hold? We flop a set. Easy fucking game. Up to, we have 100 blinds now. Literally high-fiving all of our friends. Queen 4 suited, we're raising. This guy's sitting out. He doesn't care. I mean, he does care. He's back. This is pretty close to a call, to be honest. It's, how much is that? 700? 680,000? 680,000. It's pretty close, but I think it's a fold. I mean, it's definitely a fold once this guy gets in. It's a fold deep in this tournament, you know, because people just don't go all in as wide as they should. Expect to see a raise here with the ace-4. And we see a flop. We should see a bet. I mean, I don't mind a check back with bottom pair and the backdoor nut flush draw, but I think the betting just works too often to not do it, especially in 2012. Min raise with the 4-3 suited. I like it. I like it. Min raise with the 5s. I like it. Gonna have to raise call the big blind, though, if he does go all in. And he has ace-king. Can we win a flip? 5! No. So we do lose 1, which is fine. I mean, I think we won like 18 million pots in a row before that, so due to win one. Due to lose one, rather. 3-bet, don't hate it. I like it, to be honest. It applies a lot of pressure. This guy's the only guy with a bunch of chips on our table. He's probably like 4th or 5th at the time, so there's a lot of ICM pressure with 10 people left. I really like it. The alternative should be flatting, but I probably would have folded. Queen 7, now I'm just going crazy. Eddie maxed out, was still opening up a wide range of hands. I do not hate the shove at all, but I think it's a little bit over the top. I'd rather do it with like at least like Queen 9. Gets through though, so great result there. I don't want to see a shove or a raise again. I think that after getting punished like twice, 2 or 3 times in a row when he raises by me, he's gonna have a good hand at some point. You know, he has to. He can't keep on going the way he's going and losing chips. So I'm just gonna give him credit and fold that Queen 10. All right, I think this is the final table now. Yeah, this is the final table now. All right, y'all. So this is the final table. This is the final table, the final 8. We went from 10-handed like straight to 8-handed. I K'd out someone on my table, and someone must have knocked someone out on the other table. So well, let's just give it a quick little run through of like what I remember on the players at the time. Phoenix73, never seen this dude before. Stoff Zwieger, never seen him before. Dimka, also never seen. Aakari, Andre Aakari. Obviously, folks know who Andre Aakari is. I mean, I assume, like most of you guys watching the video, if you have a little bit of background from on poker, like know who very famous Brazilian reg Andre Aakari is. Cyber Kangaroo is like some like kind of semi-competent multi-table tournament regular, I think. King of Filth might be a reg, but from what we were going off of, from our read on the last table, super tight, super tight. Eddie Maxoud, another mediocre tournament reg. So overall, a pretty soft final table. At the time, this was our image. I don't think that much of that is incorrect. So yeah, 8-handed final table. Without further ado, let's get into it. Folding the 8 deuce, pretty obvious. We will try to run through the hands a little bit here. I mean, I should obviously call this, but I probably... Okay, 3-bet's fine. 3-bet's totally fine. Sizing back in the good old days is fine as well. I mean, I just want to apply the pressure, right? So if we take a look around at the stacks, we got on our right here, we have 1.7 million and 11 big blind stack. Andre Aakari has, I don't know, like 30, 32 blinds. Stowe, ST, Saint of Zwieger is also super short with just over 1 million. And this guy is in second place. So he's second place opening into me, who I have double his chip stack. I'm obviously in a fantastic spot here. So I'm just going to apply the pressure and 3-bet. And he folds. Just want to let him know that this is my final table. You know, this is my final table. Don't you open my big blind, son. Wouldn't be surprised just to even see a 3-bet like next hand. But I don't think we do it with Jack deuce off. No, okay. Should probably be raising like almost any 2 cards in this button. If our read on King of Filth is correct in that he is, you know, a very tight either recreational player or regular, then we should just open any 2 cards here, because he's gonna want to ladder up. There's one guy with like what's that, like 7 blinds, and another guy with 11 blinds here, so they're just gonna be playing super duper tight. Expect a raise from here as well. I mean, everyone's pretty handicapped at this point. They just want to ladder up. We're just gonna play insanely aggressive. So yeah, expect to see a 3-bet here, and we do. Very, very small. Again, I can't stress enough like how poor our sizings were back then. But again, at the same time, I don't really think that they were that poor because of the way that the meta played and because of the way people played in general. These days, I would want to see around 800,000 here, around a 2.5x. Maybe even a little bit more versus Aakari because he loves to see flops and stuff. But he's just like a very aggressive Vamo, you know? He just raises really wide. And I can remember looking back at this hand and looking through the replayer. He folds the hand. But I can remember looking at the replayer of the Sunday Million like the next week, because that's how it works. They show the replayer immediately on PokerStars like the next week with whole cards up for the final table. And I remember he opened 3-2 suited here. So our 3-bet was pretty darn good. Expect a raise here. Very good, very good. We can raise call the big blind, I guess. We could also, like, potentially just raise fold to him. I like our bet here. We definitely want to bet to take it down. Because he's probably flatting, like, ace-X's, like, ace-5 and, like, ace-8 and stuff like that. And not shoving the pre-flop because he's scared to bust on the final table. So, yeah, definitely want to be bet folding here. Just think it works way too often to not bet. And I love our sizing as well. 25% pot. Even, like, just over a big blind, honestly, you can get away with, like, 170 here. I think 170, 200 is, like, effectively the same thing. Basically, if you put chips in the middle, he folds. Because relative to his stack size, 160 is a lot, you know? So it doesn't really matter. Like, one big blind is a lot when he only has 4.7 big blinds behind. So we take a hand off here with the 3 deuce offsuit. Seems very reasonable into someone who also likes to play their big blind. Just going to be raising cards. I mean, we have an ace and a 4. We obviously call this tiny little all-in. I do not know if we spike an ace. Doesn't look like we can win unless we hit a 5-7, which we do not. So double up the shorty there. It's fine. And I guess we just shove now. He is 3xing off a 10 big blind stack. Ace-queen is still way too strong, even though we're like, well, he probably has a pretty good hand, you know? But he raised calls with ace-10, so we didn't manage to get him last hand, but we managed to knock him out of this hand, and just like that, down to 7. Fine, seems fine. Bet. I guess it's good in this situation just to keep on betting, because I'm literally betting this flop like 100%, you know? So I need to be balancing, even if, like, we're not getting called by much. I need to be balancing here, because, like I said, we are just betting pretty much like 100%, you know? We're probably raising like close to 100% and just betting the flop like 100% of the time. Just because the ICM is still very huge. This guy's only got 1.3 million. So this should be an easy fold for us. I mean, if it had got folded to him, he shoves, we shove. Expect to see a call from Dimka, though. And we do see him opening up ace-jack, and this guy went all in with deuces. So, like, I mean, people weren't scared to get it all in. So there's less ICM. Now those 2 shorties busted super quick down to 6 people here. Now those 2 shorties busted, there's significantly less ICM on the blinds, meaning that, like, they don't have to play super tight to try to get the pay ladders anymore, because the 2 of them are the next 2 on the chopping block. We got 27 almost big blinds with Cyber, 29 big blinds with Aakari, about 46 with Dimka, and then both the blinds here have just under 15. So it's not a terrible open still. It should still work a really high percent of the time, because people aren't going to be shoving with like ace-5 offsuit there. But it's going to be a lot less of a strong open. Like, this is even a better open, even though we're going into one more person, because in a Dimka, and the pressure's on him, you know? Like, now the ICM is huge for him. But it is only a min-raise, so he's probably going to call. Easy flop. Would like to see a bet, protect our hand. We don't like a heart on the turn. We don't like an ace, a king, or a queen. And I think to continue with our image, we just need to be betting and balancing just like all that we can, you know? Just need to keep on betting. Completely fine fold. I mean, take a hand off. Let some people clash. So I expect to see a min raise again. Seems fine. He peels again. We're gonna bet again, of course, because we have an open ender. I really hope to see a bet for the second time here. So I would be betting more. I would be raising more pre-flop. I would be raising like 2.5 times to give him not such a good price in position, and I would be betting more on this flop, probably like 475. I want to size up a bet jam here. I want to apply max pressure in case I don't hit my hand, and I want to keep barreling now. I want to bet like 700,000. If I bet 700,000 and he calls, then there is 2.7 million in the pot, and he has about 2.8. So I actually want to bet about 900. If I bet 900 here, then there's 3.1 in the pot, and he has about 2.7 million behind, which is a very nice river shove size. Wow. So this is just terrible. Oops. This is just awful. God awful. Just terrible. Just terrible. Like, what are we doing? We got an open-ended straight draw. An open-ended straight draw. Why wouldn't I just bet again? I mean, he's going to be floating the flop a lot with like king high, ace high, queen high. Just like hands that he thinks that he can bet on the turn when I check and give up. Not to mention, he's going to have like a 4x, a 9x, like just hands he's going to be calling on the flop with that he now wants to bet to protect his hand. Like, I don't even mind if I check shove here, but check folding is just awful and way too weak. I guess I just didn't want to get too out of line. Like, after seeing the 3-2 suited in the hand replayer, I wish I was just 3-betting him at, like, every time he opened in the early stages of the final here. So we see a raise, and he 2x 3-bets on the big blind, 326.40, way too small. Should never expect a fold there. But then again, people have been folding all the way down. These pocket threes and jack 10, like, how do you 3-bet the big blind? So this Dimka guy is quite clearly a recreational player. I don't really understand how you would ever 3-bet the big blind and then not continuation bet or even bet to steal on the turn or the river. Like, I just don't really understand. So we decided to get a little bit loose here. Feels like we've taken too many hands off. Ready to raise. We get it through. King of Filth gonna pick up some chips. Coming for a min raise again seems pretty good to me. I'll just raise pretty much any 2 cards in the button in this stack setup. I mean, I guess I lose a hand and I take a hand off. Seemed to be like a trend back in the day, you know. I didn't like to risk it a lot when it wasn't going super well, I guess. But it turns out to be a good fold because Eddie Maxout would have definitely rejammed on me. So Eddie Maxout exits the tournament in 6th place, and we are down to 5. Raise? Okay, good. Good. And we get a walk from Aakari. He knows how to touch it. So this guy's calling 3 for 3 so far. He is 3 for 3 calling our raises from the small blind, which means to me that 1, we need to start limping some hands, or 2, we need to make our raise size bigger pre-flop. I would like to just make our raise size bigger pre-flop. I think it's fine to raise. I think we just might make it like 520k and charge him more. But excellent flop. Going to continue with our like basically 100% c-bet, except for that one time with the jack 9 in position. But this is better anyways. A better time to continuation bet. At least we raised a 10-9. I mean, we didn't manage to raise the 8-6 in the same spot, but at least we raised a 10-9. So we see a raise, blind versus blind, a 3-bet from Aakari, and a 4-bet shove, and he gets it through. Hey, we finally made it a little bit bigger. All right, good job, buddy. Good job. Way to go. And this time it gets through. Another pat on the back. Well done. Well fucking done, sir. I mean, you fucked up the other hands, but you know what? At least you played one right. Gets to open through with the King 7. Well done. Get another open in there. Come on. Come on. Are you kidding me, bro? Jack 8 fucking suited. Are you kidding me? What a fold. Call. Fuck. I mean, Cyber Kangaroo's been pretty tight, so I don't hate the fold. But, I mean, we got a decent connected hand that we could see a flop with, getting a 4-1. You know, it's a pretty good price. Hey, at least you've decided to make the raise sizes bigger, Parker. Well done. Even though I would advise limping, I cannot go back in time and tell myself to do so. I don't mind 3-betting. Just fucking 3-bet him, dude. I mean, Akari's smart enough to know that King of Filth is pretty tight, and Aakari is, you know, fucking aggro Vamo. So just 3-bet him. Letting Aakari take over a little bit here, but I mean, just 2 hands. Oh, we got an all in. See a raise and a rejam and a call. 10s versus ace king. Very standard, very not exciting. So just like that, he's down to 1 million, and all of a sudden there's a ton of pressure on King of Filth to ladder up, and a decent amount of pressure on Aakari as well. While Cyber Kangaroo and I sit pretty over here with 80 and 54 big blinds. So by ICM pressure, I just mean that like now Aakari can't like raise wide blind versus blind here, you know? Because if he does, and I have like an 8-6 suit or something, I'm just like, I'm all in. Because it's 25 big blinds, I've got a decent suited hand, and it applies the pressure when Dimka sits there with 5 big blinds, and laddering up is so important. Now, I know Aakari is like a crazy Brazilian Vamo, and he doesn't really care about that kind of thing, but I also think he's like a solid poker player, and still needs to pay attention to things like this. Like, even if you're all out, play for the win, go for it all, you still need to take some of these things into consideration. Okay, so action. King of Filth raises off 15 big blind stack. I expect this to be pretty strong. Dimka goes all in it, and Aakari goes all in on the top. So I expect Aakari to have like a range of like 9s plus ace queen here, something like that. I would be kind of surprised if he had any worse hands. Alright, he says aces. What a cooler. And the worst hand wins, but we do ladder up, King of Filth busting. So a very, very, very swift transition here down to 4-handed since the final table. Like maybe only 30 hands? How many hands? No, more than that. What am I on about? So 578 to like, it's like 50 hands? 50 hands. 42 hands. 42 hands in the final table here. And 4 people have been knocked out and were 4-handed. So all of a sudden this tournament went from like relatively shallow with myself having a huge chip stack to four-handed with myself still having a huge chip stack. But Cyber having 50, Aakari having 30 big blinds, and Dimka having 16. So we see a raise here. Okay. I would like to see a raise. I realized maybe it's not the worst fold ever because Cyber is going to play pretty aggressive. He was quite clearly an aggressive player. He's going to play pretty aggressive, blind versus blind here versus Dimka. And I don't really want to get into trouble with him, you know? I don't want to get 3-bet by him. And he's reshoved on me like 2 or 3 times. Flatted in the 3 times he reshoved on me. Flatted in the big blind versus my small blind raise 3 out of 5 times and reshoved on it once. So 4 to 5 times he played back. Just seems like he's willing to gamble, you know? He's willing to play pots. See, I don't hate it, and we do see a shove, which is pretty nice. That means that like our read was right that he is going to play quite aggressively versus him. Oh my goodness, I remember this hand actually. Dimka's got ace queen. Spoilers. Ace on the flop, and we just hold it out. So we're fucking 3-handed, and I've got over 100 big blinds. I'm like, wow, dude, I'm gonna win this tournament in like fucking 50 hands. It's the easiest tournament of my life. So yeah, pretty nice. I mean, probably expecting him to be raised calling ace queen for 17 blinds on the button, but just had ace queen for 17 bigs. We're happy with that. So we are 3-handed now. Great hand. Oi, oi, oi. Do we go all in? We 4-bet. Okay. I like this versus Aakari. Not only do I think he's going to peel some really, really bad hands, and we play in position, like, and our hand is, like, decent, of course. Of course, we can have, like, some overcards, and that would slow us down a little bit, but Akari's super aggressive, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him 5-bet rip with, like, a hand like ace-10 offsuit here. But he just folds. I like it. I like it. Oh, a limp. Wow, mixing it up. Look at us go. All right, I expect to see a check now for sure. Betting the turn here doesn't really make any sense. Limp stabbing seems pretty good to me. I expect to see a check call now, though. Okay. And I would like to see a check call again on the river. I think that he has enough, like, Jack 8 with the Jack of Spades, or just, like, you know, King highs, just Jack 10, you know, just Jack 8 offsuit, fuck. Call. All right. I like the way we played the hand. I do not like the result. But yeah, I definitely think that's, like, a very good, very reasonable line. Just an unfortunate result. All right, well, I hope to see a call here. We are about 60 big blinds deep. We have position. We have a connected hand. I wouldn't mind a 4-bet either. I think a 4-bet might be better, to be honest. If we have Queen Jack suited, I definitely want to see a call. But Queen Jack offsuit, I probably want to see a 4-bet. I wouldn't hate to see a call either. I just hope we don't fold. Okay, we don't fold. Good flop. We're going to start with a call. Really good flop. We have top pair, decent kicker. Backdoor Jack of Diamonds, flush draw. Wouldn't really make sense to ever raise. We could bet here, but I really, 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 really prefer checking. For a few reasons. 1, pot control our hand. Which basically means that, like, I'm not going to bet here and then I get raised and all of a sudden I've got, like, a decent hand, but not really a hand that I want to play for stacks or make the pot even bigger. I also think that he has a ton of bluffs when he 3-bets and bets the flop and checks the turn. So I want to check it back and allow him a chance to bluff the river when he does not improve, which is going to be pretty rare for him to improve because he probably has a hand like ace-10 without a diamond. Because I think that if he has like ace-10 with the ace of diamonds here, I think he would bet again. It would make a lot of sense for him to bet again. So I want to see a check back here. And we do, which is very nice. River a flush, which, like I said, I think if he has the ace of diamonds or the king of diamonds, he is going to be betting the turn the vast majority of the time. So I'm pretty confident in our flush right now. And if he does bet, I'll just call. Or I think we should call with pretty much whatever he bets. Unless he bets like 5 million. If he overbets the pot, then I'll fold. I think folding's good. If he bets like 3.7 million, then it's like a really tough spot. And I'll probably just click call still, I think. But if he checks to us as well, we're definitely going to put in a value bet. Small, though. I think I'd want to bet like 1.1 million for value. And try to get a call from a hand like 7s or 8s with a diamond. So I think, I don't know what we do. I have no idea. But I really, 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 really hope we don't check it back. All right. So we go for huge value, which is interesting. I like the logic that we can never, ever be beat. And this is a polarizing bet. But I think that we just have the ace of the king of diamonds. Basically, we're trying to polarize our hand of the ace of diamonds. So, like, I don't hate it, to be honest. But I think we just have the ace of diamonds when we bet this big too often. I just think that we're too nutted. I don't think we bluff very often. We have way too many, like, good showdown hands, you know? We have way too many, like, king queen offsuit without a diamond that we're just happy to check back the river. So this bet just doesn't get called by like a 7 or an 8 of diamonds. It just looks too strong. So we should just bet 1.1 million, 1.2 million and get called. I'm almost certain he folds after seeing his bet size. Like, it's just way too big. It's just not good. Would like to see a call, but 2012 Tonka might have 3-bet here. He was a much more aggressive 3-betting lad, this 2012 Tonka. He likes to play pre-flop, very clicky. He liked to wager his discs. He likes to get it in. Now, 2016 Tonka is a lot more about the post-flop pokers. He likes to call here and attempt to outplay his opponent post-flop and not get in bloated pots out of position with a weak hand like ace-8 offsuit. I'm not sure what happens. We see a fold, which is nice. I would love to see a limp again, but I think in rhythm here, we have the momentum. I'm going to see a raise. Wow, we see an open fold. So I don't think that's very good. I think we should definitely just limp call. Or not limp call, limp fold, rather. I don't think it's the end of the world folding here, especially if it's an aggressive player like Cyber, but I want to keep the momentum going. Like I said, I want to continue to apply pressure. Aakari is much shorter than he is. And yeah, I just think we should be, in 2012, I think we should be limping or raising. Jack 3, I like the fold on the button. Would like to see a flop here. Jesus, man. So this is rough, dude. Like, we just, I mean, it goes with, like, how it was, you know? People didn't realize 4 or 5 years ago how important it was when you're getting, like, 4-1 here to call with a decent hand like 8-10. I mean, lots of people did, lots of better players than me, but I'm not that good of a player at the time, you know? I've been playing poker for maybe, like, 3 years. I'm primarily focusing on sit and goes at this point, 18-mans. I'm just not, like, an unbelievably amazing poker player. But yeah, we give it up. So I expect to see a raise, even though a call makes more sense with a hand like this. Makes a lot more sense to limp call with a hand like this, I think, than raise. But Cyber is folding a little bit more now, so maybe he was just getting good hands before. Cyber's shoving a lot in the small blind over into Aakari, which means at some point they're going to clash, right? So to me, that means that we should be not taking super loose button spots. So like 8-4 suited on the button here, I think it's fine to fold when Cyber is going to be shoving so often because he's going to clash with Aakari at some point. I mean, Akari's going to call him off if he shoves every single small blind. Aakari's going to wake up with ace-10 and have to call it off at some point. Don't you dare fold. You motherfucker. How dare you? How dare you fold in position with queen-7 to a goddamn 2.2x raise from an aggressive Vamo. It's like better to shove than fold here. Goodness me, sir. You had some holes in your game you need to fix. I wouldn't be surprised to see a 3-bet fold from me, but I think we should fold. Okay. Blinds have popped up to 250. We see a raise and a re-raise all in. No call. This is fine to raise. Limping probably better. Back in the day, probably good to bet. Or to raise pre-flop. Decent flop to bet. It's a paired board. Anytime you have the aggressor and your opponent's range can be very wide, a paired board is a good board to bet because it's significantly less likely that they have a pair or trips. That being said, a 10-10-3 board that is rainbow and not connected and 2-flushed is a lot better of a board to continuation bet. And we do see a raise, and I should expect to see a fold. Wow. So like these hands just like should be limps, you know? And like that's something that I fixed my game after playing 6-max sit and goes. You realize how important it is blind versus blind play, and that's where most people lose the most money. Big blind is obviously the most difficult position to win money from, and basically nobody wins money from the big blind. It's just about minimizing losses. It's really tough to win money from a position where you have to put in a big blind automatically with random 2 cards. So we better see a raise with Jack 7. All right, I don't really know what I want to see here. I want to see a call. Like, me today, I would certainly call. But I think that back in the day, I would have folded and just, like, tried to play a little bit more passively, a little bit tighter. Yeah. I think a 4-bet is, like, a little bit aggressive, a little bit over the top, but I would prefer to just see a call. Again, I'd be calling this today. Just getting a good price. We got a suited connected hand. Happy to see stuff like this, though. Anytime that your 2 opponents clash, like, you're happy. You know, you'd love to see these guys get it all in and just get ladder into heads up. Man, our heads up game it's going to be atrocious back in the day. I'm not unbelievably confident with my heads up game these days. I mean, it's better than most heads up regulars, and today, like, I would value myself over either of these 2 guys big time. So we finally have one Jack 6 suited. I don't think that my heads up game was great back in the day. Also, spoiler alert, we do get heads up. Apologies. Don't mind the check on the flop, but I'd prefer just to see a bet. We're going to bet now, and We only really reproduce now. I mean, we don't only reproduce, but I don't know. He just has, like, I guess when he calls the turn, we just know he has a pair, so we can just easily give up on the river. But I prefer just try to take it down the flop, not give him a free card to hit his, like, you know, 10-2 offsuit or 10-3 offsuit or even like King-5 or something like that, you know? Just give him a chance to fold. So easy fold. And we're going to see these guys clash at some point, surely. Cyber Kangaroo started chipping away here. Oh my goodness. So we see a shove from Cyber Kangaroo and a call from Aakari for 22.5 big blinds. The man just does not give a shit. He doesn't care. He doesn't care at all. Oh, the 3! No, we were about to go heads up with Cyber. And Aakari doubles up. I can remember seeing that and just being so sad. Alright, well, I like the call in position with the ace-7 suited. Pretty strong hand. Flops really well. Not on King-Jack-9 with no clubs, though. Not a great board. Would like to see a 3-bet here. Okay. We see a 4-bet. Not great. We are going to give it up. I expect that sizing to either be like a bluff or like ace-king, you know? Some way doesn't want to get flatted. Because it's big. It's really big. Really big. So you see a raise, a bet, a call, a check. Is the river go check, check as well? And Aakari wins with like ace high or something. Now we see a bet. Okay. Interesting. Should see a call again here in position with the ace-2 suited. I really hope we see a float on this flop. I mean, we have a backdoor straight draw, backdoor nut blush draw. We have an ace high. If we see a fold here, like, I'm just playing way too passively. Like, my goodness. I don't know what to say, guys. You know, sometimes you just, you know, there's a lot of money on the line and you just play a little bit weak. But I can promise you today, I would not be folding this on the flop. We're super happy. Not super happy, but we're pretty fucking happy to put that 625k chips in and just assume that we have the best hand so often. Like, so often. I mean, it's a king-eye board, and he raised pre, and he's betting the flop. Like, Dios mío. King 4 in the small blind, folding, come on. Too many folds. It's painful. It's painful. But, I mean, oh, God, dude. This is reasonable, you know? Like I said, in the game for 3 years, not the most experienced poker player. Definitely going to err on the tighter side. Not half as experienced as I am now. So he's going to call. Or I'm not going to call, rather, even though I should be calling. With suited hand. Hoping to see a shove. Oh! We're all in. He's got king-jack. Can we hold to go heads up? That's a good flop. He's got a fade of 10. Oh, the nuts, baby. The nuts. Ship it to Papa. Doesn't matter if your man's going to do that. So I can remember wanting to chop with Aakari here, and I even said I'll give you a couple bucks, you know, like I'll make the deal better for you. We can do chip chop, and then I'll give you a little bit. And he was just like, Vamos! Vamos! And he didn't chop. So, yeah. Lot of action. Lot of action. A lot of hands there. A lot of things happened. We are going to be coming back for the 7th and final part to the Throwback Tournament review in the next few days. So be sure to subscribe to the channel so you get notified when the 7th part comes out. Also, there will be videos in between, so be sure to subscribe so you get a notification for those as well. Thank you for checking it out, and see you in the next video. It's sellout time, boys. Check it out.